Well, good afternoon on this Sunday, the first Sunday in Advent, November the 29th. We are a few days on this side of Thanksgiving, past Thanksgiving, and today in our worship we ushered in the season of Advent with the lighting of the Advent candle and the singing of the traditional Advent hymns. Our worship service today focused on the importance of darkness. Now, I know that may seem a little strange given the fact that, there are lights everywhere, and I reminded the congregation that as I rode around town last night, I saw lights in the parks and lights in homes and lights on the street lights, and just a wonderful, wonderful display of lights everywhere. But the worship service today ask the question, does darkness have anything to teach us? Is there a word of hope in the season of darkness? And so we talked about two things primarily. One, we talked about the fact that the Bible does not ignore darkness. So let me take a moment and read just a passage of what we talked about today. From John chapter 1, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify to the light, so that all might believe through him. He himself was not the light, but he came to testify to the light. The true light, which enlightens everyone, was coming into the world." John sees the coming of Jesus as light. Matthew, Mark, Luke all see it differently. John's take on the coming of Jesus is that light has pierced the darkness. And so today we talked about the fact that the Bible doesn't shy away from darkness. In fact, the Bible is filled with characters, individuals who experienced moments of great darkness. The Old Testament as well as the New Testament. The Bible doesn't shy away from the darkness of life. People experience darkness. So we talked about that the church often sends the message, maybe not explicitly, but we send the message maybe implicitly that sometimes to be a person of faith means that you don't ever have dark moments in your life. Well, that's not true. The church is filled with people who have experienced darkness. And then the second part of the message dealt with a more personal theme. We talked about depression. And I said in this message that the Christmas season turns the volume up on whatever your basic emotion is. If you tend to be a generally happy, positive, upbeat person, the Christmas season will be a blast. It'll be a wonderful experience. But if you have a tendency toward being a little down, being a little blue maybe, a little bit negative, that also will be turned up during the Christmas season. So whatever your basic tendency personality-wise is, the Christmas season turns up the volume on that. And then we talked about personal depression, that there are men and women everywhere in pews in all churches who experience deep, deep depression. And we simply can't ignore that reality. We simply can't say to them, just get over it. Or if you really love the Lord, this won't happen to you. The Bible doesn't support that. And we as the church can't support that either. And so today's message focused around those two parts of darkness. The Bible embracing the whole subject of darkness, and the fact that human beings experience what St. John of the Cross called the dark night of the soul. But finally, the emphasis today was on light. We talked about how light comes to our lives when we choose to not let the darkness win. We can simply be in the darkness and wallow in the darkness and stay in the darkness, or we can make the decision that we're going to move toward a place of health and hope. And that comes when we choose to focus outward rather than inward. That comes when we choose to focus otherward instead of selfishly. So today our focus had to do with darkness. We welcome the season of Advent and the light of Christ. And today, I thank you for taking a few moments to share this time with me. God bless you, and may this be a holy Advent season for you.